If you have a career, bills, a family, possibly even a mortgage, you cannot afford to build this business like some reckless internet entrepreneur. Because if you do, this will be yet another venture that will end up blowing up in your face. And if that were to happen, it won't be because the business is wrong. It's because you've pursued this business in the wrong order. Said plainly, you get excited about the idea, you buy a bunch of equipment, you make a logo, you tell everyone you're starting a cleaning business, then you chase a bunch of random customers, you get a bunch of shiny object syndrome, and you never stick to anything, and because of that, you don't get anywhere. So ultimately, you get overwhelmed, and then you quit. See, that's a tragic story. But if you're trying to build a six-figure income with this cleaning business while you still have your 9-to-5, then I want you to listen up. Because this video isn't about getting off to the fastest start possible. It's about building this business the right way so you could succeed and not ruin anything in the process. If you're new to me, my name is Mike Mack. I have now built 3 commercial cleaning companies in 3 separate states. I sold the first 2, and now my third one hit the 6-figure mark within 45 days. And as somebody with a wife, 2 small children, and a lot of responsibilities, I can tell you this for an absolute fact. Building a business, no matter how successful, is not impressive if it wrecks the life you're trying to improve. So my gift to you is I'm gonna give you a 7-step order of operations for building this 6-figure business without turning your job, family, and schedule into collateral damage. And we're gonna kick things off with step number 1, your safety net. The most important asset you have right now is not your business idea. It's your paycheck. Do not quit your job. Not yet, at least. Not until this business makes that decision completely obvious. See, your job isn't the enemy here. Right now, it's the foundation to get this business off the ground because it covers all of your expenses while you build it. It's gonna keep your household calm while you test it. It's gonna remove desperation that makes a lot of people take on bad clients or underprice their work and say yes to things they should walk away from. See, your paycheck is gonna give you patience, and patience is a super advantage when you are building a real business. See, the people I see who end up screwing this up, it's because they quit too early, most of them, and they put way too much pressure on themselves before the business was ready to carry that weight. And when you do that, every slow week feels like a crisis. Every unanswered email feels like proof that you made a mistake. And let me tell you something right now, you do not need that pressure. You just need clarity. And here's something you can take to the bank. With the right systems, you can build this business on your lunch break. You can build it around parts of your evening and maybe even sacrificing a Saturday morning here or there. Essentially, you need 5 to 10 hours per week applied to the right things in the right order. That is plenty to actually move this business forward without you having to mess up your stability. Stated plainly, your mission should not be to escape your job as soon as possible. It is to make it optional as soon as possible. And I'm going to show you how to do that very thing. But first, step number 2, the first thing you actually build. See, before any office trusts you with their building, they need to believe you are the safest choice in the room. Now that starts long before you ever show up to quote. Most people waste their first 30 days buying mops, pricing out equipment, and researching supply costs, and even ordering snazzy polos like this one. But the reason why that's problematic is because you haven't spoken to a single potential client yet. And that is completely backwards. Before any office is gonna write you a check, they need to trust you. They need to feel like you are professional, not someone who decided to start a cleaning business yesterday. So the first thing I want you to focus on building is trust. And that means legitimately a clean, simple website, a professional email signature, a clear offer to the potential client you're going after, and a proposal that actually looks like it came from someone who's done this before. And I want you to understand why this foundation matters so much. Because if your website, your offer, proposal, follow-up, and your client-facing systems are sloppy, then you're not just gonna be starting slower, you're gonna be making every future step with this business incredibly difficult. And that's because every conversation you have with a potential client is gonna run through that foundation. And if you look like an amateur, that client is going to feel it. But just like if everything looks pretty sharp, they're gonna relax. But here's something that is really worth sitting with. Your professional background is going to be a major asset that most cleaning operators don't have. And put simply, that's because you know how to communicate. You know how to follow through. You've been operating in a professional environment for years. See, a lot of the people out there who own cleaning companies have done none of that. Their voicemail is full. Their proposals are done on a Google Doc. They have inconsistent follow-up at best. And so when you walk in looking like you have a real established business, then you have already separated yourself from a majority of the market before you've cleaned a single square foot. And you're probably thinking, all right, Mike, but like, when do I get the equipment? The equipment comes later. The credibility has to come first. Step number 3, the contracts have to be worth your time. Okay, just like everyone else, you're working with a finite amount of time. So every contract you chase is a withdrawal from that time account. So you have to make sure you are chasing stuff that's actually worth it. Let me give you an example. Let's say you land a $300 per month contract and you say, oh, this is pretty good. This is a big win. But I want you to think about what it actually cost you to land that account. The emails, the walkthrough, the proposal you put together, the follow-up, the quality checks, the ongoing communication, the equipment you end up investing in. At those numbers, you'd have to multiply that at least 50 times to hit some meaningful income. That's not a business. That is a second job with a logo. Now, my model is the high ticket model, which works perfectly for someone in your position because we have to target and land contracts that actually matter, like a medical suite, a professional office building, a nice car dealership, a mid-sized church. I mean, clients anywhere with a budget of $3,000, $5,000, or even $7,000 per month. Because those buildings right there, they are never gonna stop getting dirty regardless of the economy, the season, or anything else. And we just need 5 of those accounts, and now you're looking at real money. Not side hustle money, I mean the type of money that's gonna make your current income optional. So this is my warning to you, do not chase volume, chase the right clients right out of the gate. Step 4, the schedule that's going to protect you. Okay, so a business, it doesn't blow up your life because it takes time. It blows up your life when it has no boundaries. See, without proper structure, the business is going to bleed into every area. It's going to bleed into your dinner, your bedtime, your marriage, your weekends. So to avoid all of that, you have to give it a lane to operate in. So here's exactly how you can structure it when you're starting out and you only have an hour or 2 a day to dedicate to this business. So assuming you're working a 9 to 5, take your lunch break on Mondays to focus on client attraction, follow-up emails, and a pipeline check. Now, the next thing I would do, so you're not working through all your lunch breaks, is shift Tuesdays to evening. And there you could just focus more on your client attraction and just follow up with any active proposals you have out. Now, if it were me, Wednesday, you could do another evening or your lunch break, whatever works for you. But either way, Wednesday, I would focus primarily on proposal work and admin work. For Thursday lunch, instead, I would schedule all of my walkthroughs for that time. If you don't have any walkthrough scheduled for that time, you can use that time for more marketing or, again, following up on active proposals. And your Friday hour, whether it's at night or whether it's during the day, again, I would still keep that open for walkthroughs. But I would also be working on recruiting my cleaners at this time, because even whether you have accounts or whether you don't, you always want to be recruiting cleaners. That way you never need cleaners. And I would finish the week strong with an hour Saturday morning to do a group interview with these cleaners that you've been talking to. That's gonna make it to where you can essentially take the cleaners you like, put them on your bench, or take the people you didn't really mesh with and tell them thanks, but no thanks. But that right there is the whole week. And what's powerful about it, it's contained, it's intentional. So there's no random all day frenzy. And take this from a guy who's done this 3 times in a row. This isn't meant to be 16-hour days where you're sacrificing all your family time. You're just building the type of business that can actually fit around your life. And when you're intentional, then you're gonna be able to have the best of both worlds. Step number 5, build the bench before the game starts. I've already talked about this a little bit, but most people wait until they have to get clients before they think about that. They think, well, I can't get cleaners if I don't have clients. Wrong. You are not the cleaner. And it is your job to not get stuck in the cleaning. And the way you do that is by building up your bench. But here's a mistake I don't want you to make. If you do what everyone else does and you wait until you actually get the customer first, then you are going to be picking out of desperation. And then you're gonna end up picking the wrong people. And then let's say you land a great client, but you have the wrong person there. Well, then you are asking for trouble because that client is not going to stay with you a long time if they just met you and you already have a cleaner that can't get the job done. So let me demystify this for you. Essentially, all you need to do is post a job on Indeed, say you're looking for a part-time cleaner, looking for someone reliable, blah, 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 blah. List out a few other core values that you're looking for. And from there, you set up a time to talk on Zoom, group interview. And this is very important to understand. Let's say you get 5 or 6 people on your bench and it takes you 3 weeks to land your first customer. I wouldn't expect 5 or 6 people to be waiting, but I would expect at least 2 people to be waiting. And so when you land this account, you go right to that bench, you take the 2 cleaners who are excited and ready to go, and then you, my friend, are in business. Yeah, literally. Step number 6, do this with your first account or you're gonna pay for it later. The first account is going to expose every gap in your operation. Now, you can either document what you learn and build from it or ignore it and just carry this chaotic kind of whatever you got going on into future accounts. So I want you to think about it like this. Your first account that you worked hard to get, it's almost like a classroom for you. When you're going through this process, I want you to document. I want you to take notes and learn from like what marketing got them to respond. My walkthrough, how did I feel about it? What could I improve? Is there anything that I could change? What about my follow-up? Did I send follow-up? Did I not send follow-up? What about when I put the proposal together? Did they compliment me on the proposal, which is very common, they should? Or did they say nothing about it at all? Either way, what I'm talking about here is an automated cleaning business. And we have our recurring contracts, but we want to start dialing in systems. And don't feel overwhelmed. I don't expect you to have systems right out of the gate. You're following me. I got you covered with this stuff. Matter of fact, I got a little surprise for you. If you DM me on Instagram at I am Mike Mack, the word system, I will send you a Notion board with the key systems for beginners that you can apply immediately, day one, and it's going to get you off to a really comfortable start with this business. But more than anything, I just want you to have a checklist. I want you to document. I want to make sure this stays a simple business for you, and I want you to level up your skills because the more skills you get, the easier the game becomes. Because the goal here is to build it once and then repeat on it. And lastly, step number 7, the real goal. The real goal here is not planning the escape, right? I mean, not so fast. The goal here is keeping a simple business simple. The real goal here is stack one great client on top of the next, on top of the next, and then looking up 6 months from now and thinking to yourself, well, I'm pulling an extra 5 to 8 grand per month in my pocket and I'm not doing any cleaning in the process. Now that is extremely attainable provided that you do things this way. Because if you do, I can make you a bold promise that you are going to have the freedom you're actually looking for with this business. So here's the secrets one more time. Number 1, keep your paycheck. Number 2, build trust before you buy equipment. Number 3, chase contracts actually worth your time. Number 4, build a business with a weekly rhythm so you're not aimlessly doing stuff. The next step is try to systematize as soon as possible, even your version 1, because then you see what you can improve on and where you need to improve on, which is very powerful. And lastly, keep it simple. Okay, so at this point, if you're watching, you're like, it all makes sense, but it feels a little overwhelming to kind of duct tape all this together. And you really want to get off to the right start. You really want this business to be a cash flowing asset on the side. That's what me and my team help you do. We will build this business for you in 21 days, hand it off to you, and handle all of your lead gen until you've landed at least your first contract, possibly even more than that. If you're interested in the path of least resistance, click the first link in the description, book a call, talk with my team, see exactly what it looks like to help you do that. If you'd rather hang out on YouTube University a little bit longer and figure out a little bit more about how to make this a reality, watch this video right here. Go ahead. I'll see you over there.